BOCK, welcome back to Gaming Kura. So, now what we're gonna do is let's look at what we have with constructor smelters. Let's look at logistics. We still do not have splitters. That's annoying. What do we need for splitters? Building base. Okay, for that logistics. That's the first thing I want to do. Okay, so let's set this milestone and let's get this going so that we can get splitters going. Because once we have splitters, then what we can do is what we can do is we can get our base a little bit more organized and then at least have one of everything being created for us. Instead of just worrying about switching our conveyors into different items. So first thing we're going to do is just grab copper. And then we're going to just change it into the copper wire. And then we're going to get splitters going. Because after that, what I'll want to do is get biofuel going. I'm going to show you a little bit of a quick setup of how we can get biofuel going, and that you don't have to be constantly feeding each of the bio burners. But in the interim, there is a little bit of manual stuff here. Because what we're going to do is we're going to create biomass and wood biomass. So it's going to last longer, but we also will not have to feed it. And I'll show you what I mean once we get it going. So right now we're just dumping things quickly into the burners, which isn't great. Okay, we're halfway there for getting the copper wire going. Okay, copper wire is almost there. Oh yeah, and welcome back to the automation series with Satisfactory BOCK. Yeah, I just had to take the cat to vet, so I was up early, and yeah, I haven't quite woken up yet, so sorry about that. Okay, so let's dump this in there. You know what? While I wait for this to be completed, what I'm gonna do is actually grab some concrete. Because we're gonna need concrete, I mean some stone, because we're gonna need concrete anyway. So this way at least I can empty out the concrete thing. And also gotta think of where I wanna build my biomass area. So we can start burning things. But do so at a... Is it here? No, it's here. Do so at a semi-automated area. So what we'll do is we'll be able to just dump things into... not inserters, but into... did I go too low? I think I went too low. Yep, I went too low. I knew it! Okay. It's up here, isn't it? There we go. So then what we'll do is we'll just dump the leaves and dump the wood into like a storage container. And then what we'll do after we do that is have it being changed by two constructors into biomass. And we're going to merge them together. And when we do that, we will then feed all the biomass burners. So then we're not always carrying out 3,000 leaves, because it's just a waste of inventory space. We'll just be dumping it every time we come back to the base. Hi, birdie. Okay. once we get this going, this will help us out in a huge way. What am I doing? Let's check how many rods we have finished. We're gonna dump the wood in here. I'm gonna dump some leaves in there. 40 rods. So we're almost there. Okay, so I'm gonna start working on plates. Because why not? At least this way we won't have to wait for as many plates as we do for rods. It's just this. Okay, where are we in? 11. So I need 10 more, and then we'll switch the machine to plates. Oh, no, it's perfect. So let's look at production. Switch this set recipe to plates. Okay. We have plenty of ore, so let's just get some plates going while the machine's doing plates at the same time. It might be tedious to start off, but once you get a basic factory going, then you can start designing real factories. And it gets really exciting. It's when the game really takes off. 6. Six, 120, 150. So when you hold shift and you click on the item inside the factory, then you'll be able to 10 rods. Okay, there we go. Then you actually grab things from the material. So yeah, so once you set to the milestone now,
conveyor belts can now merge,
this
split, and lift
ship
to save
flies
space
off.
and enhance the productivity of your factory. Fixit encourages you to consider investing in verticality when it comes to factory logistics. If you feel stressed by this complexity, imagine yourself on the shore of a vast and calm ocean. Breathe in. Visualize all the people relying on you. The sea is made of billions of faces, each staring at you with hope and tears in their eyes. Breathe out. Feel refreshed and focused on your duties.
Yeah, so the ship comes back, and you actually cannot choose another milestone until the ship comes back. Well, you can't send it off anyway. So when you select it, you have to wait for this pod launch to come back before you can start putting things in. So, which is only 3 minutes, which isn't really a big deal. So, what we're going to do now is we're going to start building some splitters. So this makes 120 ore per minute. And this takes 30 ore, so we can have 4 smelters. So let's do that. Let's build some smelters. So production smelter. Okay, so now what we're going to need, we'll take the plates and we're going to change the recipe again. We're going to set to 100 rods because that's what smelters need. And we're going to make some wire. Wait, how much per smelter? How much wire per smelter? 8. So we're going to get 8 wire per smelter. So let's just do 4 smelters. 4 times 8, Equals 48. And it's 54. What's this? Maybe I should have not done that just yet. Oh, it's full. Well, let's do this. Smelter here. Actually, put them a little closer. Well, actually, no. Let's do something else. Let's do a splitter first. Logistics conveyor splitter. Oops. So you can spin your mouse wheel to line it up. And it should give you a line. Do you see that line? That means it's straight on. So that's this item is straight on to this item. Okay. When you jump and crouch, then you're able to jump and crouch, then you're able to jump onto the item even though you weren't able to earlier because it's might be a little bit too tall. So let's do a few smelters now. Remember, red is in and green is out. So when you see a line between them, it means they're aligned. See that? We're going to do that. We want 4 of these. Oh, I'm missing rods. That's okay. Let's grab some rods. We're gonna move this guy to here. This guy to here. Let's just go here. We see the Freighter King. Where is the guy? We're going to do one more splitter. Oh, that's a merger. Conveyor splitter. Spinning around. And we go. So we hit number 3 to select belts. Okay. So I'm gonna build another power pole here. And we're missing concrete fixing. That's fine. So that's why we went and grabbed some rocks so we can get concrete going. So just drop a power pole here and drop a power pole a little further out because it won't be enough. It doesn't have enough connections to get this all set up. And then we have to now select iron ingots. Iron ingots. Iron ingots. Okay, next. I'm gonna build a few constructors. So production constructor. Ooh, okay. See what our power's at. Power is at consuming 29, producing 29, on capacity 40 megawatts. I think that we can do a few constructors. So let's do constructor here for now. Okay, we're lacking clearance made, but okay. I know it doesn't look pretty right now, but this is just really quick right now so that we can get items going. So that we don't have to be constantly focusing on building every little thing ourselves. Okay, let's take this. I accidentally selected rods on that one, so let's do plates on this one. Okay, now You know what? We're gonna leave that be for now. And we're gonna try to do reinforced plates. Use that as wood. And we have it there. Reinforced plates need screws. So let's get some screws going. And then what we're gonna do is we're going to get wire and cable going. So we're gonna get that going. So I need reinforced plates, which means I need more plates. And I need cable going. Okay, reinforced plates. Let's get some concrete. And we're gonna get a few more constructors going. So the belt is not able to fully feed everything, but that's okay. So, constructor here. Missing materials, but okay, so we can get some more plates. Let's drop this guy here. Need wire. Yeah. So let's just get that going too. So then we at least will have wire produced. So that will save us a step there. So once we have that set up, we're going to create a little bit of a biofuel section. We're just going to have to find a place for it. Here. And get some wire going. Perfect. So what do I need? So what we're going to do to get the biomass, we're going to start off with two items, two storage containers. So we just need to find a space just to get this done quite easily. Because it's going to need a little bit of room. And where we are, we don't really have much of that. Okay, I don't like going in caves this early because... Please, okay. There's a baddie, and I think this is copper. Yeah, copper. Okay, where are you? Come on. Is it just one? Oh, yes, okay, so we're gonna do copper here, so... Let's not do biofuel in this area. Little running jump kind of thing makes you go a little faster. Get some flat terrain would be nice. Okay, so let's go here. Not flat enough. You know what? We're not gonna do it here. Okay. That's not too bad. We'll also have it close to somewhere where we're going to be walking through a lot. So we're gonna do it here actually. So we're gonna place down two storage containers. Going out this way. Oh, well. When you don't have enough power, then your entire grid goes down, so... What actually happened? Oh, this one ran out. What if I had been the other one? So you just click it back on. Okay, let's hold it on. Let's see if we can get it going. This capacity 40, max 42. You know what? Let's cut off that area for a sec. So we can get at least the steel stuff going for now. Okay. It's max 29. So let's get that going for a bit. So what do we need for our second one? We need more plates. And we're going to have 2 constructors. One for each side. Oh, don't jump off the cliff. That's never good for you. So another storage container. Right beside each other. There we go. Now let's get 2 constructors going. Constructors. Production. Constructor. So reinforced plates and cable. Reinforced plates and cable. And we need both those. We'll have some wire. And 66 wire. Okay, that's fine. So we need 2 constructors. Because one is going to be processing wood, and the other one's going to be processing leaves. Just get quite a bit of cable going. Let's get a few of these reinforced plates. Grab some screws. And get another reinforced plate. Okay. No. Oh, my cat is gonna try to bite my monitor. So let's climb up the ladder, just for a better vantage point, and build 2 constructors. Okay. So this one lines up here. This one will not line up. So for the sake, we're gonna say this one does leaves, and this one does wood. So what these will do, will process the wood and the leaves into biomass. And I just think I have leaves right now, so we'll get more power out of them, and you don't have to manually do this. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna build a merger. This way. Okay, and then we're going to build another storage container, which we need more plates for. And then once we do this, we can just stack up biomass burners, and this will feed in. And every so often, you just dump everything you've harvested directly into it. And then you can even ignore the ones at the hub, because it'll be just a waste of your time. Okay. So storage container. It's lined up. Okay. And now what we're going to do is we're going to do a splitter. And now we're going to put in, let's just say 3 biomass burners. Special power. Okay, so we're going to need quite a bit of wire. So let's get that going. We're actually going to do 2 biomass burners. So that will be 110. And then we'll connect the copper again. And then we'll expand the biomass factory afterwards. Let's get 110. So then we can get our copper going. Oh, that's only 102. Okay, that's 110. Okay, biomass burner. So we're gonna have one here. Actually, let's have one here just to conserve space. One. Iron plates. See, this is nice now that we have some material being already made, because in this way it's just, you don't have to go and then manually hand bomb the plates. So it's good to clear it out. Eventually you can put them towards a storage container like we did for here, for the biomass burners, and then allow that, but we're using plates so quickly that we constantly have to go back to it, to and fro. Okay, so let's go here. And we're gonna do a splitter here. So then we can continue expanding the biomass factory. So now we're gonna need one for these 2 burners and one for this guy. Connect the 2 together. Connect them to the factory. Will it connect? Here we go. No power. I thought you connected. Okay, yeah, you have power. Oh, I didn't actually connect the actual converters. I mean, constructors. So once it hits 10.8, you'll notice it'll create 5 biomass. And once the biomass passes through here, the nice thing about this design is you can just constantly dump your leaves and wood into there, into the 2 ports. And then what happens is this will just constantly store biomass. So even if this gets overfull, they'll just back up into the converters and you still have room to store your leaves and your trees. And then this will split them evenly between the 2 biomass converters. See, now we have a capacity of 70 megawatts. So let's get the wire back up and running. Okay. So while the wire is going up and running, we're going to expand the biomass factory to quite a bit more. But before we do that, let's actually grab quite a few more resources now that we have. So I see now we have quite a bit of inventory space. So actually, let's do them again to the concrete. Not concrete, but the stone. So then we have, so we can build concrete. While we do that one, of course, we're gonna constantly be collecting. It's this one. Yeah, close. Wait, am I too low again? I think I might be too low again. No, I wasn't too low. That's okay. So when we get back, we should be having quite a bit more wire, and then we increase a biomass factory, and yeah, we'll just have more power. And then we don't have to worry about using power too often. Again, this is still a very manual process, and until we get coal, we don't really have a choice how this runs, but this is like a semi-automation. So we're going to drop wood into this guy, and then we're going to drop leaves. If you hit shift and control and select the item, then basically all of that type of item will go automatically into the storage and out of your storage. So you don't have to select each item by itself. Let's put some plates. Let's grab some iron rods. Yes, that was my cat. Wanting attention. Just came back from the vet. Let's grab some wire. So you're gonna notice that I'm gonna start ignoring the biomass burners on the hub because they really don't help in the automation of things. They just become an encumbrance or like problematic. So let's get these burners going. Production. And power biomass burner. So let's go. Okay, so oh, we have like major copper production here. Okay, so let's do this. To conserve on space, let's put these burners like this. Now my dog is having a dream. I have a dream. So since we're going that way, I'm gonna put the splitter on this side over here. Logistics, conveyor splitter. Maybe right there. That's all right. Just gonna put this belt, curve it around this belt. Okay, splitter over here. No, but yeah, a little further. No, this. So when you scroll your mouse wheel, you change the angle of the belt. And if you notice, when you put down belts between factories, if they're short enough, they won't have these stands, so those stands take concrete. So you won't need that. But let's go here. And then here. Missing items. Okay. And no more belt, more plates. And let's just grab rods all at the same time. So we're gonna have 4 biomass burners going. So 4 biomass burners, well, technically we'll have 5 till the hub dies, which will be very shortly. So with 4, hopefully we can get like 80 megawatts, and that should be good for, is it 80 megawatt? Yeah, that should be enough for our first factory here. Objects cooking. I don't think there's any objects cooking. Well, if I do that, yes. But... oh, okay, well, it's not ideal. I don't like it, but okay. Let's do it with this. Okay. Now we're gonna grab power pole. So connect them to two biomass burners. Okay. That'll be 80 or just under 100 once the other biomass burner turns up. So now what we're going to do is we're going to split and create a separate thing to make cable. So we're going to need more constructors. So smelter, which we can, constructor to cable for. So we're going to need 2 constructors. Right, so do I have enough for 2 constructors? No, I need another iron plate, reinforce plate. Do I have plates? I have no plates, I don't think. Okay. Let's get some screws going. So we're going to need one more plate. I need 16 cable. How much copper do we do? 30 copper per minute. Or should you take 30 per minute? So it's 1 to 1. So let's get the smelter going. Face it that way. Why do I make it like this weird, funky? Okay, that's fine, I guess. Can I get another smelter facing here? And then no, I need 2 constructors. So maybe. But you know what? I'm gonna change it up. I'm gonna make the wire storage here. Well, the cable storage on the other side. Just for now. So smelter. And constructor. So wire. Her. Splitter. So this one, because there's like no space, it's a little janky. We'll build a copper factory here soon. And when we do, we'll clean this up. Invalid conversion. Here. So we need more power. So we put a power pole here. 1 and 2. Okay, so now we're gonna build another constructor here. And we need more cable. Let's grab some wire. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna build 2 more constructors. And so I can have screws being done at the same time. So I need 16. But then some cables for the power. So it's 2 more constructors there. Okay, so wait. One for, I'm gonna need another one for iron and another one for screws. So you're gonna notice that screws become the bane of your existence. But there is a way to organize them so that it's not too much of an issue. But because you need a lot of screws. But for now, just so that we can have constructor here. And then, oh, constructor here. Again, this is not going to be pretty at all. Let's face it this direction. And we're going to grab things from this smelter. From that constructor to this constructor. So we're going to set this guy to be iron rods, and this one to be screws. now we need power. Okay, so that's why I'm glad I grabbed some stone. So we have some here, so I can just make some concrete. And then we'll get concrete being manufactured over there. Okay, so things are starting to come along. And then we will have like basic materials for to start building our factory. So one for this, and one for this. Okay. So one more for fuel. Can I help with not constructed? Sweet. Constructor here. And then pull here. Like this. So once we get Caterium going, then what happens is 127 stacks. Okay, so good. Then what we can do is so then what we can do is we can get upgraded poles, and then you can actually have like 8 connections instead of just 4 connections. So now that the hub's biofuel burners are gone, we know our true capacity is 120. Okay, so we have quite a bit more capacity that our grid can do. Let's see how it's looking here. So we set quite a bit on this side. Then we have some on this side. We have nothing backing up here yet, but we do have some of the bio burners are full. Eventually they will all kind of fill up and then kind of back up. But that's a nice thing, it'll just keep on feeding itself. So yeah, so we have one of everything kind of done already. We have screws being manufactured, we have plates being manufactured, and we have rods being manufactured. So then what we can do is we can, and with cable and wire both being manufactured. So what we can do is we can start building a factory. Actually, before that, we're going to get our concrete being manufactured and being properly harvested. So let's get that going, but we're going to do that on the next time. No, maybe no time? Yeah, let's do it now. Let's just get that done. So we're going to need a regular, let's make sure that we have everything that we need. So what we're going to need, we're going to need miner. We have enough of that, I hope. Smelter. Yeah, miner and smelter, I think. Not a constructor. Right? Concrete. Constructor. Producing constructor. Never mind. We need reinforced plates and cables. Oh, we're getting a lot of cables, actually. So let's grab some cables because we're going to be running a power line all the way down. 79. I think that should be good. All the way down to our constructor. I mean, to our limestone. It's full. It's full. Okay, put this one here. And now let's go run some power lines. Oops. 2. Nice thing about these power lines, they will also help me track my pathway. So I don't go too low or too high. I think to keep it. Yeah, perfect. So let's grab some limestone from here and then build a miner. So grab all, pick up miner, and place a regular miner, automatic miner, and then place a constructor. And then select concrete. Build some belts. And then, because we're now always going to come down here, let's build a storage facility. Okay. So now we have a little bit of everything coming in constantly. What's going on? Oh, it's just really, really slow. So then when we come back and forth, then we will be able to grab a little handful of concrete. Because, yeah, so we don't have to be building it. So again, we're slowly starting to automate our ingredients, but we're going to be building actual factories pretty soon. So again, thanks for joining me. I look forward to exploring Satisfactory with you guys. Give me a like, hype, subscribe if you want to see more factory building content and how I design my factory. I was thinking of hiding some of the belts in certain areas, but I'm going to be building factories, I think, also in like weird places. So maybe just build like a factory on that cliff right there. But to do that, we're going to need foundation, which means we're going to need a lot of concrete. So that's being done right there. So again, thanks for joining me. I look forward to going on this journey with you guys. And again, like, subscribe, costs you nothing. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Thanks, bye.